Go sing it. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. Okay.
So what we've got here today, we're using a devil's food cake mix. And it doesn't matter which chocolate cake mix you pick. Just whatever your favorite flavor is, whatever you want to pick. And I can honestly tell you, there have been many times that I didn't have pudding and wanted to make the cake. And I made it without the pudding, but
I did not know you could do that.
It's better with the pudding.
I thought the pudding was like the secret ingredient, and it's the instant pudding.
To me, the icing is the bomb. So
me too. That's true.
Make the icing.
That's true.
You can skip the pudding.
That's
if you
true.
Want to. So I'm going to go ahead and add. It's a cup and a half of water, okay, to our cake mix, and then it's a half a cup of oil to our cake mix. And that's the wet ingredients in there. Always seemed like to me that was a lot of oil, but hey.
That's what makes it moist.
The pudding goes in there.
That and the eggs makes it so moist.
Yep. And we've got good old chocolate, Jello pudding.
Chocolate on chocolate.
Bill Cosby pudding.
That's right. He did do the Jello pudding ads forever.
That's what makes I think the cake so rich, and it gives it less of a cake mix type taste. I'm going to get that started just a little bit before we actually put the eggs in there. Just
and 4 eggs go in, and that sounds like a lot of eggs for a box cake mix. But that's one of the secrets of this recipe. You take a box cake mix and you make it your own, and that's why it's so good.
give them that moisture.
Yeah. And then you basically what? You just blend it, and then you beat it until everything is mixed, and it'll be a frothy look. So I've got her busy at work.
Making a mess. Chocolate mess. That's why your book has chocolate.
That's why my book has chocolate all over it, because it does make a mess. Well, I'm much messier than she is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we are first cousins. Her mother is my dad's sister, and I'm like getting out of the frame. Move this camera, okay? So that's the deal with that.
I'm 4 months older. I was born first.
And she's the meanest.
I am not the meanest. I'm the smartest.
I have proof. There are pictures and silent video.
Silent movies.
How old we are.
We got silent movies, Gabby.
Silent movies of her. We're both in these little matching Christmas red velvet Christmas, and she's pinching the fire out of me. That's right.
But to tell you a funny story, so our grandmother, who we would go spend the night together and have a lot of fun with our grandmother Dry, she called Kathy the country mouse and me the city mouse.
I forgot about that. She did.
Because I lived in the big town of High Point, and Kathy lived down in the country in Trenton.
And I literally still live in the same spot, within quarter mile where I grew up. And you don't live, she went from Jamestown really to High Point.
Yeah.
But anyway, and tell them what you do for a living.
I am a funeral director, and I help people pre-plan their funerals with Dignity Memorial, which in this area is Secreast, Haynes Lineberry, Davis Funeral Home, Thomas Funeral Home.
So, I might get a deal when I die. I'm just saying.
You might get a deal before you die.
There you go. So I have to plan. Okay, so she's got this done.
We're going to put it into the pans. We need to spray the pans. So.
Okay, so this takes 3 pans instead of 2, so it's going to be 3 layers, which makes it even more beautiful. And I'm telling you, if you can cook with a cake mix, you can do this recipe. So she has sprayed 3 pans with cake mix with Pam. And this is ready to go. It's been blended and then beaten. The recipe will be below, so you just follow the directions. And you just simply pour it in the pans equally.
Don't know how equal.
Which I just start a little bit at a time, and then I add to it to try to make it equal. And it's going to look thin, and it's going to be thinner than a regular cake would be because it's 3 layers, but that's okay. Okay, now I don't know if you do this, but do you shake? Yeah,
I do, and I used to just. I'm glad nobody else is in the house because I probably scared somebody to get the air bubbles out.
Yeah, this will get your air bubbles out, so hopefully the cake will not fall while it's in the oven. And you can even see little bubbles there that popped up. The little air, you can see where air came out of the mix. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to stick it in the oven for...
Usually, since it's the dark cake pans, usually about 12 to 14 minutes, and I just watch the edges because, again, this is going to bake a lot faster than a 2.
Yeah, because they're thinner. So we're going to stick those in the oven. And while they're cooking, we're going to make the icing.
I said, to me, the best thing about this cake, because even though I like chocolate, is the icing. And the icing is 1 pack of cream cheese, 16-ounce pack of cream cheese. And basically, it says in the recipe 2 cups of confectionery sugar. And Kathy and I were just talking, believe it or not, we actually agreed on something. I have made it so much over the years that I've backed off, just like Kathy said, on the sugar.
Yeah.
So if you want to put 2 cups, that's fine. But if you kind of want to do it to taste, you may not use all of 2 cups. But it also takes a complete size, and this is an 8-ounce thing of Cool Whip. And this is going to this makes the icing. So you want to use this whole thing, but you may not use 2 cups of sugar. And again, I was just telling Kathy, you can either make the icing in your mixer or you can make it in your food processor. And I have a tendency to do it in the food processor because sometimes I'm not patient enough to let the cheese get as room temperature as it should.
Now, and I use the mixer because I do let it get to room temperature like a professional. I guess I'm
not as patient as some people.
I guess not.
Excuse me.
Okay. So that's all there is to this, folks. And then whether it's in a food processor or a mixer, you're going to just combine these 3 ingredients and keep it going until it's smooth with no lumps. And you have your cream cheese icing. And let me tell you, it's delicious.
Where's my... There we go.
Yummy, yummy. Taking the 3 pans out of the oven. One of them we went ahead and put on the cake plate, and we'll let it cool on the cake plate. That'll be our bottom layer. And then we set these out, and because they're so thin, we're going to just leave them in the pans, let them cool, because they cool quickly because they're thin layers. You can see the thickness of that layer. Now we're going to icing
it. You know what that sounded like?
What?
No! Julia Child! I thought, oh my God, what's happening here?
I am Julia Child.
So what we did while the cake was baking and while we were waiting on the cake to cool is I always stick this icing in the refrigerator so it gets good and cold while you're waiting on everything else.
And this icing is so easy to spread. Now, I will preface this before we get totally started. We put all 3 pans in the oven at one time, 2 at the back and 1 at the front. And because we pushed them in there, one layer might be a little not level. That's okay.
Hanky, you got a little hanky.
That's okay. You can level it up with the icing. Okay. Now let's icing. We'll show you when ice the cake. Keep going.
Okay. All right. So like Kathy said, if you put all 3 in there and one of your cake levels kind of gets a little cattywampus and isn't quite straight.
Cattywampus.
Yep.
That's not a word.
You can use the icing to level it out because this icing, you got a lot of it and you can use. Now here's what's different about this cake is you're only going to ice the tops, and that's what makes it so pretty. And
it also makes it easier.
Now Kathy wanted to add the cherries.
I have to do something. So after you icing between the layers and so on top, you put, now see how I'm getting, this is cherry pie filling. I don't care if some of the juice gets with these cherries, but when I get to the top, I don't like so much juice because I want it pretty.
Yeah.
So You put the cherries in between. Last layer. And I'm going to put these cherries on here. And you can put them in any design you want.
You could do a little smiley face.
You could do a smiley face.
You could do a question mark.
Question mark.
Yeah,
Like
it could be a birth reveal cake, and you could put a question mark on top. Kathy, I know nothing about birthing no babies.
Oh, that's right. I hadn't told y'all. I had the babies. She's not had babies.
I filmed the birth of the summer children.
I videoed cooking, and she videoed me giving birth.
There you go. Nah, we ain't gonna watch that.
Yeah, you think it would ruin their appetite?
Maybe.
Anyway, so as you can see how beautiful this cake is.
Two more.
Two more, you say?
One there. Well, maybe three more now that you screwed that up.
Oh, I screwed.
No,
how can you screw that
good.
up?
That's good.
You don't need one like there and there?
Go ahead. Go for it. We got them. Let's use what we got, girlfriend.
Hey, I have to use what I got because what I got's going south.
We're not going to have body part jokes.
I don't know. Okay, that's good.
It's beautiful.
Okay, let me change that. Now you tell me if you walk into anyone's house carrying this, they're going to be impressed.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, it did not take 30 minutes total.
Yeah.
30, 40 minutes, depending on how fast you are.
It's very quick.
We're pretty fast, so there we have it. Hope you enjoy. Give me a thumbs up, please. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Or ring the bell. like that. Ring the bell.
That's a blooper. Hang